Welcome to the Unconventional Wisdom Podcast with Ed Rempel, the show about the most effective methods to achieve financial security and freedom. Find out what really works. Insights are based on in-depth experience from a fee-for-service financial planner, tax accountant, Canada's #1 financial planner blogger, and your host, Ed Rempel. Go big or go slow. Why 10 times wealth is easier than 2 times. This title may be hard to believe, but it's a common theme in coaching for small business entrepreneurs. The concept is from the popular book 10x is easier than 2x, How World-Class Entrepreneurs Achieve More by Doing Less, by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Most of us think about incremental improvements in our lives, not dramatic life-changing improvements that would require a completely different way of thinking. So the 10x concept works for entrepreneurs. You could also use the 10x concept to dramatically improve your finances. So in this post, you'll learn why does this concept work for world-class entrepreneurs, some stories of how and why it worked, why can becoming 10 times wealthier be easier than 2 times, how can this idea be used for your finances, what specific concepts can give you 10x wealth, and how can you figure out what 10x concepts might be right for you. This is a unique post that's a completely different way of thinking. It includes some insight into my personal mind, and my life. Now let's start by looking at how entrepreneurs use it and then see how this could be applied to your finances. So first, why does this concept work for entrepreneurs? So many small business owners are constantly thinking about how to improve their business. Most would be thrilled if they could double their sales or profits. If they think about how to get 2 times their income, they assume that means they would have to work 2 times as hard. Considering most business owners usually work long hours, it feels daunting to them. There are many ways to be 2x as successful with incremental improvements in one area or another, or just working 2 times as hard or as long, but none of this is easy. So now achieving 10x success requires doing things completely differently, such as exponential, not linear thinking. So focus on high impact activities. Ask what would create 10x growth. So the 80-20 principle, so focusing your strategy on the 20% of your effort that gives you 80% of your results. Commit to abandoning the 80% that does not serve your bigger vision. A leveraging principle, so leveraging your time with the who, not how principle to hire people instead of trying to figure out how to do everything yourself. Focus on your unique ability. The simplifying principle, identifying and removing non-essentials like build a self-managing system. And the plan principle, have a plan for dramatic changes. Dramatically changing your vision to focus on the 4 freedoms: time, money, relationships, and purpose. And you need a plan to make dramatic changes like this. So all of this is part of the Strategic Coach Program, who have been giving me exceptional coaching for several years. I highly recommend that their program is the most effective business coaching program for entrepreneurs in North America. Now, some stories of how it worked. So an interesting story from this book is the story of Linda McKissick. She's a real estate agent working hard to sell more houses, working hard to try to get 2x results. Then after getting some effective coaching, she decided on a completely different model several times and achieved a 10x result each time. So first, she changed her focus to only seeing clients. She hired an assistant to do everything else. This was the leveraging principle because administration and research had taken 80% of her time. Seeing clients was her unique ability that gave her 10x income. Then she did another 10x by only getting listings from sellers and not working with buyers. She referred all buyers to other agents. This was the 80-20 principle because the listings had given her 80% of her income. That gave her 10x the income again. Then she did another 10x by hiring an agent to do all the listings and not even seeing clients, so she could manage and then become the owner of her real estate brokerage with a bunch of real estate agents working for her. This was the leveraging of who, not how principle to leverage her time. This was another 10x on her income. Then she did another 10x by leveraging her time to find and train a good manager to manage her brokerage, With her time, she bought 27 other brokerages and focused on having a good manager in each one. This was the leveraging principle to leverage her time, and this was another 10x on her income. She found it difficult at each step to let go of familiar but restrictive practices that took 80% of her time, but each step allowed her to focus on the 80% high result areas. The result was that she had less work while making the 10x income several times. The story is a fascinating read in the book because she did 10x several times. In total, she turned a $50,000 per year income into a multi-billion-dollar business with a few 10x steps. Each 10x was less work while making 10x the income. Now, there's my personal story. So my personal story follows the 10x concept with a dramatic improvement by changing to a completely different model. For many years, I was a traditional mutual fund financial planner. I wrote comprehensive financial plans for free and was paid with an upfront commission. I wanted to manage all aspects myself, including writing the financial plan and ongoing advice and reviews, but also managing all the investments and insurance. We worked many long hours trying to slowly grow our practice. It was a lot of work trying for a 2x result. Then I made the dramatic change to a completely different model. I became a fee-for-service financial planner. I focused only on financial planning, what clients really need. We outsourced all the products. So this worked because we found so many people could not find unbiased, comprehensive, genuine financial planning advice to help them plan their lives. They could find investment advice all over. This was the 80-20 principle, with financial planning being 80% of the benefit clients needed. Letting go of managing the investments was hard, but hugely beneficial. It was time-consuming. I found a top independent portfolio manager to manage investments for myself and my clients. And our clients, and I found he has many advantages over what I could do myself. He can buy almost any type of investment. He can do mass portfolio changes for many clients and accounts at once to keep portfolios close to his targets, which means he can make portfolio changes for many clients in days, not months. He also has a fiduciary duty to act in the best interest of our clients. I also outsourced insurance. I found an insurance advisor who wouldn't try to upsell our clients to more expensive policies. I started to charge for a comprehensive financial plan instead of getting investment commissions, so it's clear we are transparent and unbiased. Clients could decide whether their financial plan was worth the fee. Ongoing advice is paid with a transparent monthly fee. My wife, Anne, suggested that we only work with clients that work with us 100%. Full service. The only way to be able to provide the best advice is if we know all about our clients' finances. I was hesitant at first, but found it leveraged my time by only working with the people that really want our advice. It gave us the time to focus on them. So charging for a financial plan and then only working with clients 100% with full service for ongoing advice and plan reviews was the 80-20 principle. The clients willing to do both are the most valuable clients that understand the value of financial planning. This model means we only have the best clients. It also means we can give the most effective advice. Most effective financial planning strategies can be quite unconventional. 100% mutual trust between us and our clients is the basis for being able to recommend more unconventional and effective strategies and ideas. I was able to leverage my time by hiring and training several exceptional financial planners. It worked because I only had to train them in financial planning. They did not have to know all about the different investments and insurance policies available. Being focused only on financial planning and hiring financial planners gave me time to start my blog and later YouTube channel and podcast. For years, I'd written guest articles on other people's blogs, but now was able to focus and write consistently for my own blog. For more unconventional wisdom insights, follow this podcast and share it with your friends. I sometimes refer to a chart or image. Don't worry, if you want to see the chart, it's on my YouTube channel in this video with the same name. You can be the first to receive all my new podcasts by subscribing to my email list at www.edrempel.com. My services and costs are at edrempel.com/help. You can request a free 30-minute consultation at edrempel.com/talk or share feedback and topic ideas at edrempel.com/feedback. Our practice now is focused only on financial planning while being fee transparent, clearly unbiased, and both the financial planning and investment people have a fiduciary duty to our clients. It's a completely different model that's much better for our clients and much easier to manage because our focus is comprehensive financial planning and not selling products. We used to do seminars to find new clients. Now clients find us from my blog, YouTube, and podcasts, and from referrals. We have a waiting list of 2 to 4 months or longer the entire time the last few years. We experienced dramatic improvement by changing to a completely different model. All right, so these are some stories of entrepreneurs that show you how the 10X concept can work. Let's look at how you can use the 10X concept for your finances. So why can becoming 10X wealthier be easier than 2 times? So becoming 2 times wealthier means you likely do most of the same things you are doing now, but try to do a bit more of them or do them a bit better. Go through your spending and try to spend a bit less, maybe create a budget, try to contribute a bit more to RSP or TFSA, try to find a better investment, look for a way to save some tax. It's a lot of work trying to get a 2X result. Achieving 10X wealth means doing things completely differently. Plan once for the best possible methods and strategies and let them work. So how can this idea be used for your finances? So here are a few ideas. You should think of them as concepts, not necessarily as anything specific. Let's start with 2 examples of 10X return on investment. So the first one is leverage, which is use your cash to pay investment loan interest instead of investing it. So now leveraging time is effective. Leveraging is also a highly effective financial strategy for the right people done the right way over the long term. For people that really want to grow their wealth, how much they leverage, that means borrow to invest, is a bigger factor than the specific investments they have. So let's compare investing cash to using the same amount of cash to pay interest on an investment loan. So I have a little table here showing a 10X return on cash outlay. So let's say you have $5,000 a year of cash. You can just contribute it to your investment account, or you go get a $100,000 loan at 5% interest and you're paying $5,000 a year, but you're paying interest. Now, let's say your investment makes 10%. If you invested the $5,000, you get a return of $500. That's 10%. Now, if I did the $100,000 investment loan, a 10% return is $10,000. You paid $5,000 in interest, so you got a net gain of $5,000, which is actually 100% gain on the $5,000 that you paid. So it's 100% gain instead of 10, and the $5,000 is all tax deductible. So now, this is a 10X return on investment and can be a reasonable long-term expectation. However, huge caveats here. The stock market generally averages about 10% per year long-term. However, it rarely has a return anywhere close to 10%. You have to be able to stay invested for the long term if you want to get this long-term return. If you sell any time in the next 30 years because your investment has gone down, then this is probably not a good strategy for you. Using your cash to pay investment loan interest instead of investing is a completely different way of thinking with a possible 10X return if done right. Now, there are many strategies to do this, such as effective growth strategies that can also use the concept of paying investment loan interest instead of investing your cash, such as the Smith maneuver for homeowners, life cycle investing for younger people, Rempel maximum for people wanting aggressive growth. So now links to these are all provided in my blog if you want to learn about them. Now note that trying for a 2X return likely means trying to spend less so you can invest 2X as much. That can be a lot of work and constantly focusing on saving a bit of money. This type of 10X strategy can be no additional work at all. Just get the loan and make the payments. No need to reduce your spending. Okay, the second 10X idea, 100% equities. So invest for growth instead of a conventional wisdom, balanced or income portfolio. So now becoming educated about investing and holding 100% equities instead of a balanced or a 60-40 allocation. So this is the difference between an 8% per year long-term return on equities or a 5% per year long-term return with balanced or income investing. That is double your money 9 times over 30 years instead of 6. So these extra doubles could be an 8X growth. So for 3 extra doubles. So this strategy is not for everyone, but it's highly effective if you can stay invested over the long term. Now, some concepts are not 10X on their own, but you but can be combined within your overall plan so that the benefits compound. For example, combining concepts with a 70%, a 40%, a 20%, and a 10% benefit gives you a total of a 3.1x more wealth. So now these concepts can give you 20 or 50 or 70% more wealth without investing more. First one is the RSP gross up. So doing it every year can give you a 40 to 70% higher RSP contributions with the same cash flow. I have a link on my blog. So the RSP and TFSA decision, tax savings from getting the RSP versus TFSA and FHSA decision right, or from contributing the optimal amount to RSP and FHSA to bring your taxable income exactly to the bottom of your tax bracket. This means you get the larger tax refund on every dollar. It can be a 10 to 20% benefit or more for you every year. And then there's the self-made dividends concept. Instead of investing for income, invest for growth in tax-efficient investments and sell a bit monthly or whenever you need the cash flow. The combination of higher growth investments, investing outside of Canada, and less tax can be a 2x or 4x for you. Next one is retirement income only in low tax brackets. So design your retirement income by withdrawing from different types of accounts to target a specific low tax bracket. This means you pay a lot less tax. It could be a 10 to 20% benefit or more for you every year. So now, how can you figure out what 10x concepts might be right for you? Dramatic change requires a plan. So the key here is a financial plan. It is the GPS for your life. Having a financial plan so you know exactly the optimal use for every dollar usually has major benefits that are different for everyone. It can lead you to do things completely differently. Following it consistently, not just some of the time, also has major benefits. From experience, the most effective way to achieve 10x wealth is to create your financial plan. It's a GPS for your life. It makes it clear what possible future lives are or are not possible for you. There are many effective concepts that may or may not be right for you, but you can see how each one could affect your life. Your financial plan allows you to choose the future. The process of creating it involves planning your life and seeing how different concepts might work for you. It makes it clear for you exactly what to do to achieve the life you want. So now an interactive financial plan experience, which is what we call our process, I have a link here for it if you want to read more about it, allows you to ask many what ifs, such as when can you retire with the lifestyle that you want? What would it take to retire sooner? What would it take to retire more comfortably? Our software is interactive and very flexible to be able to show you many possible future lives within seconds so you can decide which one to live. From experience, the process of creating your financial plan can lead many people to change what they do dramatically. Find out what 10x concepts might be right for you. Create your financial plan and figure out how you can achieve 10x wealth. Thank you for listening. What you learned today is why does this concept work for world-class entrepreneurs? Some stories of how it worked. Why can being 10 times wealthier be easier than 2 times? How can this idea be used for your finances? What specific concepts can give you 10x wealth? And how can you figure out what 10x concepts might be right for you? Okay, my name is Ed Rempel. My blog is Unconventional Wisdom. It's the #1 blog in Canada for a full-service financial planner. It's just edrempel.com, my name, or unconventionalwisdom.ca because we're Canada. If you are interested in potentially talking to us to see whether we're fit to work together, we offer a free 30-minute consultation. Just go to edrempel.com/talk. If you subscribe to my blog, podcast, or YouTube, all that means is you'll get an email notification once a week, every Thursday when I do my new post. We don't market any other way. So please like and share your posts if you find these posts, if you find them interesting. My podcast is edrempel.com/listen, and YouTube is edrempel.com/watch. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening. For more unconventional wisdom insights, follow this podcast, give it a review, and share it with your friends. Be the first to receive all my podcasts by subscribing to my email list at www.edrempel.com. My services and costs are at edrempel.com/help, and you can request a free 30-minute consultation at edrempel.com/talk. I often cover listener questions, so if you have a burning question or topic on which you'd like to hear unconventional wisdom, please ask or share feedback at edrempel.com/feedback. See you next week.